that man again, just for what it's worth, is a stylized image of a fetus at 24 weeks. So abortion is legal in England up to the age of 23 weeks and 6 days, just short of 24 weeks. I've just checked, and the youngest, I come from a medical family as well. I was training to be a medical doctor. My mother was a maternity sister. My brother's in Harley Street. My grandfather was a guy's MD. My grandmother was a nurse and a mathematician and stuff, whatever. So I do have a medical background. 21 weeks. A fetus survived a full term, and then there's one at 20 weeks, apparently somewhere. Spanish name, I think. Who's now healthy, 12-pound weight, etc. Right. As far as I'm concerned, life, this extraordinary thing, us lot, human beings, starts when the sperm hits the egg and that divides into four. That's life. That's a successful implantation, potential human being, providing it implants successfully in the placenta and all the rest of it. Yes, I can clearly see there are certain, as it were, special cases, notably rape and medical complications, which would affect either the mother or the fetus. If you know the fetus is going to be born massively deformed or something like that, or if the pregnancy is adversely affecting the health of the woman. But that's sort of 1% of the abortions, I think. Again, I've just scanned through some of the figures. So for the other 99%, it's just abortion on demand. There was an item now, I listened to this interesting program on Radio 4 on a Sunday morning from 7, 10 after the news till 8 before the weather. Edward Sturton was the very good journalist taking it today. And there were several interesting items. One of them, try burning the Bible, the Christian Bible, outside somewhere, and no one will even notice these days, quite frankly. But the Quran apparently was burnt by some chap outside the Turkish embassy, and it caused disorderly contact, etc. Some guy tried to come and knife him. So the poor old district judge has to decide that, what's going on here. So it's disorderly conduct in a public place that is liable to cause alarm or distress or something of that nature, which actually I'm inclined to agree with. There are much better ways or much more cogent ways of protesting if one thinks a religious book is a load of old what's-its. Abortion. I mean, life is so precious, people on the other sort of side of this try, marry couples and unsuccessfully, and then potentially, possibly they adopt. But then there's this question of, as it were, obviously, in the normal way of bringing one's own child into this world. And then it's a God-given gift, as far as I'm concerned, as a Christian. Just the miracle of birth. So I was married, I had a son, his name was Robert Francis. It was a full breech birth, so bum first, so you have to go in there, because if you can't turn them, then the poor old mother, well, they used to just die, basically. You can't get that lump out, because its bum's coming first, not the other way around. obviously go and try and turn them, etc. Whatever. Anyway, it was a planned cesarean, 2 weeks premature, my son, but he was still 8¾ pounds, little old Robert Francis. Thursday, the 12th of November 1992, he committed suicide. On Tuesday, the 23rd of August 2011. Tragically. So a broken marriage behind me. Essentially, that is my legacy thus far in this world, that I'm married, we brought a child into the world, and he's now gone. So I have had some experience of the world in a normal way, family and so on. So on this question of abortion, what now is the sort of prevailing, there's this, so the other case was some people protesting outside abortion clinics and trying to talk to the potential abortees, the mothers going in for their abortions and so on. You're banned from being within the area and so on. That's the sort of English law at the moment. Whereas in America, there's a much stronger contingent of Christians, and I'm me, myself, I'm afraid. I don't actually align myself to any group or organization in any way, shape or form. But to me, I see this, have a quick house, your father, produce that 4 cells from the egg and the sperm, and all things being equal, that I can't think of the word, but impregnation will result 9 months later, 36 weeks, in an healthy, living human being. So if you, I have been, for what it's worth, I've got these wild lilacs, the beautiful big purple spike, and it attracts butterflies, so they're nice to have around, and they just, like weeds, they just go railway sidings all over the show. Anyway, I've got some in my garden, and I was pinching out the tops in a particular place to make it more neat and tidy. And they keep coming. And then I realized I was actually pinching out, obviously, before the spike comes, and the beautiful, great big long purple or lilac spike flower, which attracts the butterflies and the bees. So I've stopped. I'm just sort of let it go wild now. Well, let it just grow. And they're just starting to come through the spikes. So it's pretty cool outside. I've had the fire on. So, abortion, yay or nay? Well, it's an age-old question. What's the oldest profession in the world? There's contention about this. I believe prostitution is high up there in the stakes for being the oldest profession in the world. So, God made us this way. The human race wouldn't go on if sex weren't enjoyable, basically. That's the way we're made, men and women. And that is the normal, natural cycle in nature. So I think enough said. I think, personally, we've swung far, far, far too far in this women's rights stuff. What about the rights of the unborn child? Doesn't it have... We started off growing. So to me, it's God's will that it happens. The couples who can't have children, they're infertile, that's all part of their destinies and God's will in their lives. You know, in vitro fertilization, you know, you can be against that as well. Surrogate pregnancies, the woman can't, for whatever reason, if they take the woman's eggs and impregnate with her partner's sperm, and the third party then receives that. Well, I mean, it's common practice in beef cattle, for instance, or milk cattle, or the animal world, kingdom. I mean, you know, you impregnate, you get slivers of sperm and put it into cows to improve the line. I mean, that's absolutely, that's not in vitro, of course. In vitro means in glass, so in a test tube somewhere. And that is also going on. Well, okay, you know, the Roman Catholics are against all forms of contraception. God said, go forth and multiply. So, in a sense, they're sort of right as well. You know, a penny between the knees, I'm afraid, is the old-fashioned contraception. Right, so that's enough of me. It's a very important matter. It's about life, human life itself. So, 251,000 abortions, 250,000 in England in 2022, 250,000 potential human babies were aborted. L'chaim, hey, to life. Oh, it's a nice day. Oh, it's Pentecost. Pentecost, right. Sunday the 8th of June 2025.